Hello boys and girls and welcome to 42 Gear Street. I have just arrived here and this is my first video and I'm really happy to be back at Henning Pauli's wonderful place in the middle of the German nowhere. And today I'm gonna do something that I wanted to do for a very long time. We're gonna do a very non-scientific shootout between a tube amp and a transistor amp. So we wanna find out if tubes actually matter, if we still need tubes or not. And I'm gonna do that with one of my favorite amp companies, and that is Orange. You see that? Yeah, hopefully, there it is. So we got this amp here, which is the Rockerverb 50. And as you might know, I've been using that amp on many productions and in many videos and in my high gain guitar tone crafting course. I really love the distortion of that amp, that creamy, thick distortion. Orange have another amp that you can see behind me, which is the Supercrush 100, which is the solid state transistor version of the Rockerverb. So they just told me they were trying to emulate exactly that tone, but of course in a more affordable, lightweight, solid state version. And what I did like 5 minutes ago, I tried to dial in a, let's call it middle of the road high gain tone on both amps, and I tried to make them sound as close as possible to each other. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna grab this lovely Ibanez, whatever, 7-string guitar. I don't even know what it is, but it doesn't matter. I don't know the pickups, but you know, you can chuga chuga on it. So I'm gonna use this guitar and I'm going straight without a tube screamer, without any pedals or anything else, into both amps, and I can use this AMPS switcher here, come closer, to switch between the amps. So I'm not gonna tell you which one is which, okay? So I'm just gonna start with one of them. Does that sound tubey? Let's go to the other one. That is close, right? And back. So this is a little tighter, maybe it needs more distortion compared to this. It sounds slightly different, the voicing is slightly different, so this one is a little mid-forward or something. And this one, that's a little cleaner. And a little fatter. But to be very honest, I don't hear a difference in quality. And it has a little more high-end sizzle. I gotta say, I'm listening on a active monitor right in front of me, like some kind of wedge monitor. And I will check out this footage once again when I'm coming back to my studio. But here, I gotta say, I prefer this one. And this is the solid state version. I guess so. And this is, the tube. This one needs a little more gain. That's too much. Has a little more low end, right, than the other one? Let's see. Yeah, the solid state, the Supercrush sounds a little tighter. Feels like there's less low end going into the distortion. That tube is a little fatter. compared to solid state. It sounds like it has like an inbuilt tube screamer that removes the low end before the distortion and makes it sound tighter and a little more modern. Interesting. But anyway, in this monitoring situation, they just sound equally cool. This one is tighter, this one is a little fatter. I gotta say that the EQ settings are not the same. So I'm usually, like, also on the Rockerverb, I'm always cranking the highs pretty much. So here they are, yeah, they're fully cranked. And I had to reduce the low end quite a bit. It's like, whatever, 10 o'clock or something, because it was sounding too fat. And on the Supercrush, I did the opposite thing. So I had to crank the low end on that one, which means you can get close if you do a little tweaking. But if you play both amps in the same settings, that's my impression right now, the Rockerverb will sound a little more bass heavy, will have more low end than the Supercrush. And what we're gonna do now is use the same settings on both of them. What I will do is I will crank the treble on both amps and have the other EQ bands, the mids and the lows at 12 o'clock. So before changing the settings, let's just compare them one more time. This is the Supercrush Transistor. Tube. Yeah, definitely that one is quite a bit tighter and more aggressive sounding than the tube version. Is that better or worse? It actually helps for modern metal. Okay, so let's start with the Supercrush Transistor. And now the Rockerverb. And now you hear what I mean. More low end, also like a looser, more vintage sounding low end than the Transistor version. And that surprises me. Because right out of the box, this sounds less aggressive and less metal than this. So I gotta say, I'm really surprised that the Supercrush, I mean, Henning told me it sounds killer, but I'm surprised how close it is and that it's actually voiced a little more modern or a little more metal. So that is a great alternative. And the cool thing is that this amp, the Supercrush, is 1,500 euros more affordable than the tube version. And it's a lightweight amp and it needs basically no maintenance. You don't have to swap the tubes. It's a great alternative. And it also looks cool. It looks heavy, but it isn't heavy, right? So if you're looking for that creamy, thick orange tone, that is a great alternative. And like from the impression that I have here right now, it even sounds tighter and more aggressive and a little more modern and a little more metal. So if you probably are, just like me, a high gain chugga guy, this amp actually sounds closer to what you want right out of the box without a boost and without anything else. So that's interesting, right? Thanks for watching. I see you next time. I'm gonna be doing a lot more very cool videos here at 42 Gear Street. See you in hell, motherfuckers. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.